Everybody get up, it's time to slam now.
Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Come on and slam, if you wanna jam.
I feel like the Lord of my block, ready to spill blood in Christian streets, ready to sin against those that sinned against me. My mentality is hood and loyalty. Snitches get stitches, down and dirty. I'm from Southside Jamaica, Queens, and it's crazy, right? Because my friends would make and mourn coffins in front of coffee shops called delis. My friends would say, yo, free friends. When those friends couldn't free themselves, my environment was a product, packaged neatly on the corner for the picking, trading slices of souls for pieces of heaven. Bullets tell lullabies to those destined to die. This was the underworld that I called home. This was a 24-hour hustle, morphing destiny in a stepping stone or stepping over your dead body in the future, and that is why I changed. So tell me why you got me here waiting. Patience fading, money waiting, supposed to be a friend of me, but instead you treat me like a frenemy. Let me tell you what I'm gonna do. My mouth and my fist is gonna coordinate with your equilibrium, bring balance to this universal existence, splitting any excuse down the middle. I'm gonna go home, get my Timbs, wear my Timbs out until my feet smash your face through the concrete, because I promise you, your next breath is wasted like drunken gibberish who failed on our manner of existence, making her mom wish she spit instead of split because my ego can fill up space. It can grab at the stars and tear them down out of the sky, but I use this truth to humbly crumble my power in the black hole big enough to consume my ego. Truth is, my upper limit stretches and grows across puffed up chests, pride swollen, face twisted, teeth made up of accomplishments, grinding on moments, swallow them whole memory. My life is made up of tiny choices with big impacts, looking through mountains and forests. Attention deficit disorder, have a masterpiece, or have I let these problems master me, breaking parts of myself off into this raw, ugly flesh, gut dripping with sweat, arms extended, open, invite insanity. It's too late to turn back now. Time embraced with the kiss goodbye, like look at the man it has made of me, full of insecure skin akin to darkest parts. Shadow so deep, love cannot exist where ego is thriving, scorched humanity out of the human, and all that is left is barren wasteland of putrid sand, just falling as a clock with time winding down until I'm consumed by my ego. So yes, my ego can fill up space. It can grab at the stars and tear them down out of the sky, but I use this truth to humbly crumble my power into black hole big enough to consume my ego. Sometimes I bear the weight of 1,000 futures in one morning, or simply the weights of my sons on my chest. I get up and get ready to meet the sun halfway, to become half its shine whenever it's ready to dull. I know my black past had nothing but whips and chains, ghettos and urban fangs, but all that black repression but resiliency in my genes. Caging tigers built on instinct to survive. I remember I repeatedly prayed to make it to the day until God began to answer back, and I became a symbol of hope, an inspiration of words for those who ask me, what is my favorite color? Orange plasmatic flames rise above all else, consuming as is the most beautiful sight above all else, to the dawning of the sun, to the rising of the morning, to the burning of all things burning. Orange will rise, camouflage in the wilderness, life depends on it, to the deepest depths of darkness, accompanied by orange, and the tiger's true colors appear, and orange shows no fear. Juices flow, and some bathe bath near the equator's might. Only in warm weather can an orange tree grow. Orange seeds I spit, seeds instead of spilling, seeds that bleed my heart. Orange, and until the orange is recognized, I will keep wearing a brightly colored color, the love songs and notes of my favorite color. Orange, to you, I dedicate this poem too. Orange, I'll admit I'm just a little bit tiny, obsessed with you. I built my son up like Legos, putting all the perfect pieces of a man in place. But at school, they try to tear him down, giving him labels he did not give himself. Negative expectations with negative inclinations, but I done been there, I done that, and I'm done with that. You ever had hives so bad you scratch your skin off just to stop the itching? Peeling off layers of yourself to appease that appetite, those cannibals. Greedy, ready, many to consume all the best parts of you with words like you're annoying, shut up, go away. My son has ADHD so bad that they thought they could put hands on body with the intent to harm, thinking they're gonna win a lottery of silence. But they be disappointed because when my son steps into my shadow, he will know the dark depths I've already pulled myself out of. Maybe you'll hear around coffee talks and table drownings of how I fell. Sometimes I didn't make it. Sometimes I strived, bled, fought, and crawled my way home, bloody and broken and bruised by life. Like the time when my belongings wasn't my belongings because someone kept rifling through them. Or the time when sirens came in the form of lightning and thunder came in the form of quick draw. They rained justice down on the wrong man due to my skin color being the color of the earth. Grassroots, neighborhood excuse, and the fact they say I'm just doing my job. But to me, it sounds like a hurricane is forming in throat. You know, category 5s, the ones that take lives. But with God by your side, son, all things are possible. And if you give your word to a friend, there is no going back. Every syllable is a part of you, no matter how far it travels. Soon you too will hold life in your arms and know you too can create stars. Hold dreams so close reality starts to warp around it. You will give it a name that tastes like success and hope on tongue, whose life is powerful for generations to come. So show them who you are. You are the ink that lights the dark. You are Black art. You are a Black king, and you will not lay down your crown, and they will not tear down your castle.
Poison at the end of the food chain is very rarely its source. The tyranny of oppression is an enemy of man, sweeping down the path of centuries. When a man being choked with intent says, "I can't breathe," it is really a repeated echo, a poignant and tragic one indeed, leaving the heavy stains of grief, sighing on the memories of countless souls. Dying from the injustice of law reawakens a cry of longing for equality and fairness by the oppressed, who supposedly won the battle against brutality of enslavement, only to fight another war for survival. The presence of excessive greed creates unjust elements in a society, leading to manipulation and fraud. There is an ingrained history of abuse of power, insecurity, and mistrust. The remedy of chronic afflictions is terribly slow, and the wheels of pain keep spinning in ghettos. Social disparity prevails together with hunger and deprivation, breeding strife in the hearts of the dispossessed. A wise man once said, "The best remedy for the soul is love." But what if it doesn't work, said the skeptic. Then increase the dose, the seer replied. Each heinous crime diminishes me, weakens the spirit of a community which wishes to live peacefully side by side, but is instead forced to address the ravages of disorder. So while the light of the firefly is no match for the stunning effects of moonlight, even a candle of hope can light up the sky. My eyes are not as powerful as the sun, yet they see colossal things. Like moths, some rush to the light, which quickly turns into darkness. Callousness reigns in many hearts. The dead blames the ones that are dying. The cry of its soul longs for freedom, tugging at sunrise upon the dawn and sunsets on the horizon. Meanwhile, confusion reigns in the light of day, while we weep in the shadows, striving to love against a background of pain and complacency. A day well spent prepares and shapes my journey. I rise at dawn as the lark sings, aspires to his eloquence and charm. The glow of daffodils and seasonal spring fills my heart with wonder, and I taking another breath, joyful to be alive. Snowflakes fall, whispering an inner melody, a symphony of everything that is good and noble, full of light and beauty. I bow in sweet reverence, offer myself to the glory of creation, wish all kindred spirits would breathe this love.
If I had to make these current events digestible, I wouldn't sugarcoat it. I would make sure to omit any kind of fructose syrup propaganda that prevents you from having guts. I don't care how bad your stomach bubbles with something that doesn't sit right. Won't substitute the bitter truth for candy-coated lies. I won't tell you the government is trying its best. but things are just too complicated. I will tell you, the President of the United States and his appointed cronies are starving the poor population for political gain. Make you swallow it like a spoon full of sand or a throat full of nails. I will refuse my tongue the will to say anything artificially sweetened by Florida's change of history. We don't all have dementia, just government and the president. I won't speak about the illegal aliens invading our safe spaces. I will only speak of America dressing white supremacy into mass federal agents to terrorize anything darker than bland white chicken or just add water potatoes. I will not season this history with sofrito, sazon, or any ingredient outside of boiled hot dogs and overcooked hamburgers. I don't care how much your intestines beg your stomach to close the throat, how American pie tastes exactly like Nazi Germany, like expired milk and apple cider vinegar. Any way you mix it, it will always be putrid, rancid, rotten meat and mold crawling on cheese. A fermented American dream trying to be Jim Jones Kool-Aid, to which I won't add any sugar, spice, or anything nice. I can't say they are killing children every day. I will say they love them. They love them so much, they want to marry them earlier, want them to bear more children earlier, to serve the military and work earlier. They want childhood to be gentrified into a capitalistic state of pedophilia. And like any other hood, they want first dibs. When they say fuck them kids, they mean it. I know this can all be hard to swallow without the propaganda, without something to whitewash it down, but I won't sugarcoat it. I want you to stomach the truth exactly the way it is.
The intensity of longing. You have come to me, traversing the path of centuries of ignorance, bringing harmonious melodies of the breeze, the fragrant vermilion roses that romantic lovers would offer to their paramours. Until I savored the flavoring of your essence, I never knew that love could be so enchanting. You smile at me, and my soul melts like sugar, lost in an ocean of your ecstatic sweetness. Your moonlit beauty erases the dark caverns in my heart. You give me the impetus to start anew, and I long to look at the shooting stars while lying on your lap. What is this wondrous culinary of you that I taste? It has no earthly seasoning, yet its aroma woos me in trance, even as my gaze becomes transfixed with a joy celestial, my cheeks a scarlet blush from your tender kisses. Your heart has become my temple, a safe place for me to dwell without worrying about loneliness of the mundane, even as your sparkling rays depict a portal glowing like the moon, one I can walk through safely at nights, a joyful wayfarer on his way home. Your sweet nectar of honey trickles within. I'm held in bemusement with a silent tongue, denied of language by your bewitching beauty. I am full, for the food you give intoxicates. Seasoned with a new kind of wine, it makes me thrice inebriated, and I throb within, warmed by the fire of thy love. Who knew that my inner longing could lead to such intensity of freedom? Now I beg for release so that I can breathe again. Yet it is in the absence of breath I feel most intimate and loving. I had been busy playing with ignorance, but now I shed tears in awe of what I have become. There is an inner bewilderment that hugs my dreams, and I drink deep of the reality of you and I together, wrapped in the harmony of union. Morning awakes, and I feel your presence, not the fresh black cafe Arabica sin leche, the black coffee without milk that I was once accustomed to, but a fragrant lilac ambience permeating the decor of our surroundings. I open and close my eyes. You're still here. Your knowing smile waltzing with the butterflies in my heart, even as your kiss hugs the indigo heavens to blend its brilliant hue with the breath of thy love. I let go of the shadow of morals, basking in the essence of your being. We become one, longing as intense as the lashing melody of waves, binding our souls together like glue, tailor-made for this seamless love. We speak in silence, and I ask, "Oh, Queen, what is this rhapsody that I feel within?" You answer in gleeful tears, flowing like a river of joy down cheeks of magic. I went to bed a yearning soul, one who'd spent many years in search of your unspoken sugarcane juice. Now my longing has harvested, the seeds grown from ancient cries of seeking, the blossoming daffodils, an aria to make Solomon blush, as the radiant dawn pays homage to their lure. Waiting was no more than worthy, and before you came, I hung onto the red threads of desolation and despair. My thoughts caught in the bitter remorse of yesterdays and the illusionary fears of tomorrows. Now that I have found you, your lips are my wine of endless delight. The price is never right. How I lamented your absence, blamed you for so much of my struggles. Now that you are with me, who cares about past challenges, the steep slopes of the agony of a hungry lover? I wish I was hurt 10 times more to make up for the sweetest ecstasy I feel within. Beloved, you fulfill my culinary needs, and your banquet is more than deserving of an insignificant beggar like me at the stunning gateways of your majesty. You have only to ask, and I will squeeze this heart for you, only to swoon in surrender in the bewitching wonders of thy love divine.
Apartment C. I returned to my old apartment and was for sure in love in apartment C. And there and under dim, jaundiced kitchen light was the last time you told me that I was beautiful, and I believed it. I saw it again, flitting back to me in particles. Shrapnel of a thick-lipped grin fell upon the kitchen counter, where I was once hoisted upon a worn wooden lap. Strong hands, deft words aligned to melt skin. The daftness of limerence, wafting of stale dreams. It was 2 a.m. You're not sure if you're alive or not, are you? I say to myself now, as I lean against a stove that never baked. It took 13 years and many miles to open that door again. It took 13 years to push into the bruise and whisper, heal. It's all too still, bones tell me, and you are not, and cannot believe anything anymore. Carpet, ceiling tiles, white sink, suede couch, that a life was once here, the deadweight drop of the past. Reading at the coal factory. I found out that Dad brought my little golden books to the coal factory at night as I was in first grade. And he would open a space in the cindered break room for anyone that he noticed dog-earing their time clock cards out of fear of their own name. And there, during the hoot-owl shifts of winter, he taught Harry how to read.
People ask why I love horror films. And sometimes it's hard to explain why I love monsters so much. But when you learn to survive villains, memorizing their footsteps, you stop screaming when your nightmares look like your childhood. You make peace with the ones who sit across the table and eat with you and ones who tuck you in at night. See, at 8, my summer was stolen. When that happened, I stopped watching for shadows on my TV screens. I started checking down hallways and behind closed doors. Monsters don't wait for midnight. They come in daylight with familiar hands. with smells of cheap cologne. I wasn't hunted in the woods or chased by ghosts. I was cornered in bedrooms where cartoons still played in the background. No one screamed. Not me. Not the walls, not the TV, not even the bed spring. Silence became my co-star, watching me pretend nothing was happening. And I learned how to cry without sound. Felt tears roll down my fat little chubby cheeks, watched how I folded into myself until I forgot I was even there. I learned to carry silence like a second spine. It held me up but never let me rest, and I found myself laughing at the wrong times, trusting no one, wearing a smile, and my body became locked in a room where no one dared to knock, and I never gave out any keys. I replaced that timid child with an angry one. Because anger didn't freeze. Anger moved. Anger fought back. Anger kept people away. Anger came easier than tears. And I let it sharpen my tongue, clench my fists, build walls high enough to keep even God out. I stopped being soft because soft got me hurt. Soft made me weak. Soft made me fragile. So I wore anger like armor and dared the world to touch me just so I could prove I survived it. They called me trouble. Said I had a smart mouth, too much attitude, too loud to be such a pretty little girl, not realizing how ugly the world had treated me and how dirty I felt inside. No one bothered asking what made me burn, only saw that I couldn't cool down. They didn't know I was just trying not to outshout my memories, refusing to stay buried. And see, I battle with love, even now. I never trained for it, tensing beneath soft touches, questioning every compliment, reading between lines, not even there, just to prepare for the hurt I expect. I tell myself I'm too broken, too fat, too ugly, too angry to be wanted, so I live in pieces, only giving out the shiny parts of me. Because that's all people want to see. So I slipped out before anyone could notice. The bruises that were built from all the trauma that I have endured. Before they could see the decay surface in my eyes, I may never get those summers back. I may never unlearn the fear that I have built up or rewrite what happened at 8, but I have learned to live anyway. To laugh with my whole chest, to rest without watching the door now, to name what tried to silence me. This isn't closure. It's confrontation. Because I'm no longer afraid to speak about it. Some days I feel like I'm 8 years old, that I still hear his footsteps when nothing's moving. Still sense that laughter that comes a little too close. And I've learned just to breathe through it. I learned how to stand in rooms that he never built. How to love the little girl he tried to erase. Because she's still there. And she's still fighting to feel real inside.
I love them more than a body ever could, more than fingers want to move. Mothers simultaneously watch babies stay the same and grow into worlds the same way God does. I remember them as flutter bees. I love her more than the ocean loves the moon. I saw her run in a field of music. Arms spread wide, she jumped and took flight, a paper plane of poetry, a pilot without gravity, a fighter jet. And he tumbles and rumbles his way through this new world. My baby is a lion cub trying to find his roar. I see it in his hands. The world is putty in his paws. I spend my days patching these shoulders and this spine, trying to uphold the sky. Children shouldn't be crushed by the weight of the world. Clouds are weighed in elephants, and kids are just kids. They don't know what to do with the elephants in the room. My husband is a rock, a smooth river stone, rough around the edges. I didn't know it when I met him, but he weathers the storm like no other. When I am a raging hurricane, unable to ground myself, he is immovable. A safe place for my children to climb or hide behind, even when they become choppy seas. He just lets the waves crash against his back, pacifies the wrath. He never fails to boulder his shoulders, kick him to the curb, throw him across the lake. He's always been a rock, doing his part in upholding the mountain. I never know what I'm going to find inside. Fossilized feelings, cold to the touch, never knowing his composition until he hits rock bottom. Rocks and men both hold secrets so tight, you'd have to break them to find it. I worry about the sediment, the layers of unspoken trauma, fossilized fear and unsettled grief. The molehills under his feet turn to monoliths in his mind, or the floods that canyon his insides. Some days he is molten lava cooled into stone. Manipulated by heat and pressure, this does not make him a diamond. He doesn't shatter under stress. A monument of a man, a gem of a person. Even on days he feels himself a single grain of sand. He gathers the minerals that make a megalith. Crystallizing his insides, knows when to be as hard as granite or as soft as talc. He is a rock, which is to say he's a solid man. My daughter and I collect rocks to paint. The thing about painting rocks is you have to choose the right one. Not just any rock will do. And he is a smooth river stone, rough around the edges. We would choose him always over the sapphires, the garnets, the opals. My husband is our rock.
Soft-boiled eggs. You have a way of scrambling my brains that leaves me begging for more, like the whore I am for you. Because of you, that silly Pokemon Chansey's been considered to be of value to have. I'll never go hungry when Chansey uses soft boiled. It's super effective for my appetite. Imagine being able to farm and mass produce Chanseys and send them to areas of the world that need food and sustenance. That'd be one surefire way to combat world hunger. If Pokemon were real, I digress. The 8 minutes it takes to formulate your sexy ass into a roaring boil pales into comparison to the hours of laughter that it will bring me and the comical suffering to my enemies. The way you ooze that food porn with your bodies brings out the savage in me. Oh, yeah! I'm not justifiably in a position I don't rather want to be in. I'd rather die of exhaustion than die of starvation, yeah! With that said, I've got lust in my eyes, and I'm hungry, yeah! Oh, soft-boiled eggs, every time we tango, you're more electrifying and satisfying than the time before. Soft-boiled eggs, you're more seductive than sex, dripping golden wet drains from your insides, enticing my insides with an unrivaled hunger that dwarfs the power of entire galaxies. Yeah, there's a shiver that runs down, up and down my spine every time I pick you up and guide you to your demise. Yeah, egg white, yolk, and drippage. Yeah, I close my mouth in your torment, and my satisfaction begins. Soft-boiled eggs, you're the cream of the crop. Yeah, and just when you thought I've had enough of you, I'm not finished with you by a long shot. Yeah, snap into a soft-boiled. Oh yeah. There have been times when I felt homeless in my own home. Home shouldn't be a place to dread more than a workplace. Home shouldn't feel like you have to settle for anything at the cost of your core values. Home shouldn't feel like you're living in indentured servitude with no breaks. Home shouldn't feel like you're sitting smack dab between tectonic plates, in constant collision. Home shouldn't feel like you're an unwilling participant in an endless game of Russian roulette. Home shouldn't feel like a noose around your neck as soon as you wake up in the morning. Home shouldn't feel like a casket you're forcing yourself to get comfortable in. Home is not always a place, but a state of being. Home is a mental checkpoint we strive to have every day, a place to save our progress and regenerate our health, a safe space for the mind, body, and heart and soul that promotes growth and mindfulness. Home is a security blanket woven in comfort. Home is a feeling of achieving spiritual homeostasis. Home is a sigh of absolute relief from the chaos of everyday life. Home is sanctuary. Home is where I want to be, but I guess I'm already there. Home is a standing here beside you, loving the passing of time. Home is looking into your eyes and see everything I could ever desire, staring right back at me. Home is the freezing of time and the blurring of everyone else's faces because you are home to me.
Intrigued by you, the mystique. What makes you so unique in comparison to past suitors? Must be on guard to not appear weak, yet cautious in my stupor. So I consider drawing from childhood activity the simplicity of making time to play, to fill the void. Hence, my goal is to slay, proclaiming your secrets destroyed, having you bear all. I must get to the bottom of this, since why is the question as to your apparition filling my head often. Solving for X is my mission. So school shall now begin, touching on art, math, and anatomy, just to name a few. Considering my methods are elementary, to begin, there'll be no rules to stay within the lines. Yet I'll trace your physique from lips to hips to spine. Canvas worth mounting, hieroglyphic in design. With your permission, if I'm so inclined to finger paint as I go, nice and slow, phalanges trailing patterns, high and low, eliciting tremors beneath my hands. Breathy moans that liken to school bands. Just getting up my nerve to explore dips, creases, and curves, encountering paths of discovery. No bands to the derivative of your history. With each caress of your flesh, I'll solve yet another mystery, awarding me echoes of ecstasy, followed by a pause, just because I wanted to test the strength of your resolve. You've exceeded my expectations, unveiling all. So, with a final kiss, I declare a recess before I render class dismissed.
I've been sitting here for decades and days, watching all the signs of life passing my way. For I myself am a sign of life that people often don't think twice about, since I wasn't blessed with the ability to shout. I can't sing or calmly speak things yet. If you sit down beside me and let your thoughts drift, you'll realize I too am consciousness. I also hold the tears of millions as they slap a missing poster on my trunk, unsure if anyone would even see me or just walk past another tree. As I feel all the pain and beauty of everything, experiencing every lost dog piss on my roots, I hold it unspoken truth. And all you have to do is take off your shoes. Then I can properly communicate with you, show you some ancient truth that's still new to you. We're all one, we just have different views, different experiences, and different roads to choose. Yet, when you tap in, feel the cold breeze against your skin, as soft the grass and rough leaves rub against your feet. Then you'll begin to see what I see as I slip into your dreams and get a glimpse of what it means to be a human being. Then, as I see, it's not all what it's cracked up to be. For they've got arms and feet to help them move wherever they want to be and grab whatever they can see, yet some of them still live like me. Sit around and watch what come to be as if they don't have the power to create whatever they want to see. Just like their ability to plant me. Human beings are capable of doing incredible things. I see their light hidden within as they slap some garbage at me. Then come pick it up as they feel the stink face beneath my trunk. I have so many stories with no voice to speak them. As for every leaf that falls, someone's card is called. As they go away to the skies, never to find the stories that lie beneath my trunk. So while you're still here, through all your pain and fear, be weird. Come hug me and begin to learn about some of my stories.
America has an obsession with gay. When Diddy is placed on trial for human trafficking, the court of public opinion says that bad boy was a gay boy, so lock him under the jail as if the gay was the crime, the smoking gun. Quick, drag him in the streets for dragging his balls across the wrong places. It's okay. We've been trying to drag queens anyway. I mean, ban drag queens. So it's almost the same. The president uses his position to cover up his pedophilia, and America is more worried about what he does in a kneeling position. His base, claiming Christianity isn't the issue, it is always the gay. Please pray it away before it influences the children. Put the children on an island to keep them safe. I mean, wait, no, it was the gay that made them pray. In America, the gay is the disease. When Jussie Smollett is caught lying, they say it was the gay, as if it is a mental illness. And I guess, depending on which year you read the DSM, it might be, so I might be crazy. Because my gay ass can't understand how quick y'all crucify penetration over predatory behavior, focused on the wrong things, and can't seem to keep them straight.
I want you to marvel at my DC, which stands for the divine change that I made, because I changed drastically like the Flash just before he runs head first into the fray. I came a long way from those depressing days and darkest feelings, because I used to have major mood swings. And my thoughts would go from place to place like how Spider-Man does when he swings from building to building. I was down bad. I felt like a Harley Quinn hiding behind that Joker smile. And there was no warmth behind my eyes. I was as cold as ice like Mr. Freeze, hiding in my back cave from that emotional poison ivy, not realizing that I was a scarecrow to my own nightmares. Me tackling my trauma and admitting that I needed help was my biggest fears. My mind was full of daunting questions like the Riddler, waddling like the penguin aimlessly in the dark. But eventually, I had to find that live wire to give me that spark. And once I found purpose, I got back on my feet. So like Catwoman, I clawed my way out. And like Superman, I had to jump through leaps and bounds to get out of that fortress of solitude. So tell me, can you feel the heat of this vision? You see, I'm claiming every part of me, my light and my dark, and no, I'm not two-faced, but more of a firestorm, changing things at a molecular level, getting down to the root of it because I'm a poetic alchemist, speaking and breathing life into my goals and manipulating my reality into what I see fit. And yeah, I got them stones to do it, no Thanos, just my spirit guides. It took me a while to get to this state of mind, wondering where this woman lies, not realizing that this girl was super this whole time. Being chosen speaks volumes when you're a vessel. So the voices of my ancestors speak through me. I break barriers with every breath since love is the revolution I felt in my chest and see. There was a time where I wanted to silence the noise in my mind, Lord, but later I realized that I am a revolutionary, no Seth Rollins, but more of Assata Shakur. I am the fight and freedom fighting we're fighting for, see. Assata's most well-known quote was, "It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. And these chains know me by name, so they can't break me. And I will continue to fight until my last breath because Angela Davis said, I am no longer accepting the things that I can't change. I am changing the things that I can accept. So I stand against the tactless taxes that terrorize the populace because prioritizing profit over people is preposterous. See, things become clear when you're looking through your third eye oculus, a real bird's eye view to see maniacal monsters throwing around the dominance as a show of force. A nationwide no king's protest let them know we wasn't going for it. See, those who are in power gain more power. And healthcare becomes a health scare because people are losing access. I wonder if that's the other reason why the earth rotates on a tilted axis, weighed down by the woes of the oppressed and tipping towards those who are in control. This dictator is ruling with an iron fist, and sandstone wings are getting chipped away bit by bit, causing cracked foundations to bleed out lies. Clout is a hell of a drug when a nation is run by a government thug who tragically lacks apathy and will bulldoze his way through anything, tearing down years of history just so a $250 million ballroom can arise. Sadly, that shouldn't come as no surprise. This maniacal menace has the nerve to strive for a Nobel Peace Prize, oblivious to the fact that as soon as he started calling the shots was the moment that peace died, and now this country is under duress. While he uses money to be frivolous, yet we ain't taking this lightly. This is why we must remain vigilant. And remember, we owe it to ourselves for surviving what tried to silence us. We are proof that persistence has a pulse, and it sounds like purpose. It speaks out like Jasmine Crockett, meeting fascism with defiance, demanding a difference with raised fists like Edward Bigman Howard, Huey P. Newton, and Bobby Seale. The government unleashed their big guns in these streets, but we will not be still. We just want that evil to be reversed so that we can live. Did you know that live is the devil spelled backwards? So I guess the White House is his dominion and the ICE agents are his minions because he makes the United States his personal hellhole, raising the stakes so everyone is beefing. But he will not bully us into backing down with his crackdowns, shampooing us with lies to keep us conditioned so we don't recognize our own roots. No, we will be firm and stare injustice in the face. So hello, fear. Our name is faith. And even though you may see us as things that can be squashed underneath corruption's weight, remember, even something as small as a mustard seed has the immense potential to accomplish great things, and we will not waver. So if this billionaire bully continues chomping away at this country, pushing us into a corner, then we'll eventually start showing our own set of teeth and use them to gnaw at the chains of hypocrisy. So true freedom can finally be released.
Sometimes I shadow box with my decisions. I grieve the loss of who I was. It started in the corners of my life. Toe to toe, eye to isolation, stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. This chemical reaction is a bop. I burn hard and hop skins like Bernard Hopkins. Body to body, guard to guard. I got heart, but don't let nobody in. My demons can't see me sweat. I'm in this holy field. They robbing Ray just to pay Paul. How Don turned king at the cost of his legacy. Y'all biting my style, but y'all don't hear me. Some days I tell my sons violence is the lowest form of human communication. I tell my daughters, beat if they touch you for a ring. In this ring, they will always try to box you in, square up. It's a tesseract, a simple math will kind of shape you in. I break down tough talks with busted lips so much they call me chapstick. I'll be a coiled spring in the dead of winter. I lost so much feeling, I'd be dead ass. This Queens kid crosses Queens Bridge. Every round I spit lands quick like a New York minute. Call it physics, call it faith. When I Harlem shake, I rock fate like I got faith on the line. It's no biggie, it's a little thing. I'm notorious for turning lyrics into death notes. Better change your name and face like plastic surgery. I'm a bad boy because I scramble brains like A, B, D, or G. Before I bad boy this orgy, I see men leaking like see man, look what you made me do. They whisper in courtrooms like, did he really do it? For my children, you could put me in the ring with gods and stars and I'll fight the universe if I have to, because it's apparent, son. Like Apollo, it's a creed. I got hands for comets and I'm shooting down every star, black hole. I got mouths to feed. Some days it's just me versus me versus me versus me. These 4-man grill like a 4-man grill. I'm pressed on all sides, dead meat. When I eat trauma, I make medicine sick. I am the Manasseh Mall reincarnated. I'm Jack Johnson in the flesh, and I want my pound of flesh. Every year they pray for my downfall, but I stay undefeated like this Mayweather. Sonny ain't listen when I told him stay down. Man, he better or Pacquiao. I crack windpipes like a habit, hard to kick, waiting for the hit. And when the bell don't save me, I save me. Every loss a lesson, every swing a scripture, every miss a revelation, every comeback I beatbox. Shit, I teach the devil how to dance. Pour the ashes of my legacy over my children's goodnight prayers. So even in defeat, I rise forever, remaining a champion in their eyes. Some days I shadow box for my decisions. I grieve the loss of who I was. But today the punchline is I've accepted who I've become. I was young, outgoing, unique, troubled, hard-headed. To the young me who spent so much time living in the future, it often felt like the presence was stifling. Like being born 100 years too early or being born in the wrong century, you often felt alone and misunderstood. In a room full of people, words felt pointless. It was better to be a ninja with a swords tongue than a student who wouldn't be heard anyway. In a whitewashed world, handpicked between twin cities, between the Holocaust survivor stories and the lack of knowing your own history, you often felt like your knowledge was shackled on auction blocks and placed for bidding to the highest state test. Am I a reflection of my parents' best decisions or a byproduct of their worst mistakes? If I could go back in time and meet you, I'd hold you knowing you don't like to be touched. I'd cry with you in a safe space because you never had one. I'd apologize on behalf of those who did you wrong because you may never receive it. I am sorry. I showed you a glimpse of your future reflected in my eyes and say they have the same. I get on my hands and knees and scrub your feet to show you how to love yourself because at this time you didn't believe you deserved it. I tell you I love you because that's what you need to hear. It's what you need to know. You deserve to smile. No longer internalizing silence. I wait an eternity until you say I love you too. Finally, I'd embrace you so long you meld into me, reflected before myself as I am right now, healing, but thankful. Dear time, I accuse you of being unkind to our people, celebrating the end of something that never ended. Hidden behind the malice of our forefathers in the halls of justice, they conspired to rip every Black life under the guise of criminal, infidel. What a low-down, dirty shame scandal. But Douglas said knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. Ancestors, you know we still fighting, right? We fighting redlining, voter suppression, marijuana possession, profit for prison, slavery by crime that was never committed. Our youth are being slaughtered by the very people meant to protect them. They're being stolen away in the night by something called ICE. Corrupted mentality to police brutality. They say if you go to school, get a job, graduate college, that you'll be all right. But all I see is the lie, the myth of meritocracy. I mean, we buy Skittles to taste Trayvon's last meal. Could you hear us calling all the way back then, calling out for freedom the same way our ancestors ran towards it, no matter how many times they try to drag us back? Maybe it's because Black won't die like a light shined in the dark. They expose our nakedness, strip us of our glory and name, confine our minds and hide our history. We try to liberate our freedom, but they put us in gas chambers called the ghettos. They leak guns and drugs to kill us by the droves and deprive us of our monetary necessities, then blame us for our situation. They enslaved us, raped us, killed us for sport, and then spread gossip saying we are dangerous. Who? War on drugs was only reason they want us to be property, probably till the end of the exception clause. Ignore our skin color when it benefits. Ignore their skin color when it benefits. Genocide of our people. If you line up every martyr and paint a clear picture of the slain, stained in shadows casted out by society once used up, threat if we speak up, threat if we seek reform, change to the main vein, because in the blood that been given, we seek solace in Obama. We see ourselves in Amanda. We read about our struggles in Park. We fight like Malcolm, dream like Langston, march like Harriet for a cause. We breathe like live, 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 George Floyd. Maybe it's because we breathe like panthers in the night. We breathe home and make home of smoke and ash. Our bloodline is Phoenix. Our lineage is survival. Our spirit is indomitable. We die daily but cannot be defeated. Our Black heritage cannot be defeated. Racism cannot win with its weapons of hatred and ignorance. Slavery cannot bind our freedom of expression and joy of our salvation. We live on through this. Come on, time. Although I carry the history and the weight of our past, I also know the history and the stories that got us through. And so I pass this knowledge on from me to you. You are the future. Go and create it.